Hey, it's Jonathan Green back with episode 5 of Express Success, the psychology. And really, it's the psychology of an investor because not everybody has a ton of experience working with investors. But when you do, you find out certain things that are important to this program because no matter what seller you're working with, your end buyer is the iBuyer who started as a small investor and now is a bigger investor. But there are a couple issues that I've seen just in the forums in terms of what will drive off an investor based on investor psychology. And I remember seeing something or people were talking about like just submitting a lot of properties to the buy box, but that's exactly what will get the investor to leave because they don't want a lot. They want a lot of good stuff, but that's not really available. So it's really a needle in a haystack. They want something that's going to be an option that fits the buy box. And it's just not that easy to get. So you have to realize that from an investor psychology point of view, the more bad things that people put into the buy box, the less likely it is that the investor is going to stick around and or make a good offer or pay attention to them when they come in. If the first 10 deals that our iBuyer gets are terrible or are just MLS deals that they've seen before, they may check out. It's not their only lead source. I told you, they probably have a million different lead sources, including just regular people just handing them deals. So if they're going to stick around, we all, as the Express Offers community, need to submit the best deals possible to the buy box because in the end, they're the ones who are buying. And a lot of people, they think about the worth of the seller and the worth of the program. But again, the iBuyer is the one who's going to do however many deals. Maybe they're going to do 50 deals. Your sellers in these situations are all distressed sellers. You're not doing two express offer deals with somebody. Like that's unlikely to happen. All these express offer sellers are going to be one-offs and then they're going to move. Unless they get in a distressed situation, you're probably not going to hear from them again. But the iBuyer, you're going to hear from every time you submit to the box. And if there's 7 iBuyers, great, that's great. But you still have to know if you're putting in bad deals, no matter who it is, it's going to be a problem for other people who are coming in, putting in the good deals. So you have to be more careful with what you submit. An investor is really a numbers person usually. They're not going to be the ones who want to hear about why you think it's going to be great. But if you can add value in a PDF and show the metrics of a neighborhood or that a Whole Foods is moving in or that a Starbucks is moving in, which are good metrics for potential growth of a neighborhood, then maybe you can sell them on it. But you can put that in a PDF if it meets all the other parts of the buy box. And that's going to be a good process. They want somebody in there who's going to do a little more than the next person. So if all anybody ever does is just submit the stuff in the buy box, do the pictures, and not add anything, that could still work. Sure, it could work. But if you want to start making sure that they pay attention to the ones that you put in there, you can drop other things in that will help them on neighborhood analytics, walkable to the train or distance to the train, and things like that, or public transportation. If they're looking at buy and holds, you're looking at different metrics. So investor psychology is much different for a fix and flip than a buy and hold. Fix and flip is really going to be all metrics. What ARV can they get on the back end and what can they get it for and how much are their repair costs? And those are things we're going to talk about. Let's see. Number 7, ARV. Number 8, repair costs. Number 9, rental estimates. So we're going to get to those. But a fix and flip is much different than a buy and hold. A buy and hold, you're really talking about neighborhood metrics and long-term value because you're not just evaluating the rental rate that you can get for the iBuyer. You really want them to be getting some appreciation too. Sure, maybe it's just a straight cash play, but who doesn't want appreciation? So if you can find them, which is a mini holy grail, which is good cash flow plus future appreciation, then they're going to be thanking you year after year instead of just, one deal. And then you also have to understand the tenants in place part of what the investor psychology is. So an investor who's buying a multifamily, some people, if they haven't done these type of deals, they may think like, oh, well, everybody wants a property that's fully rented because then you have money coming in right away. And in a perfect world, this is 100% true. However, the majority of distressed type multifamilies that are being bought as rentals by investors are going to have renters in that are paying under market value. Not only will the units possibly not be in great shape, but they're paying under market value. So it's really in the best interests of the iBuyer to either have it vacant or have one unit vacant. So if you have a 2-family, 3-family, 4-family, your best option is when one unit at least is vacant. So then you can do the renovation on the one unit, and then you turn over the rents inside however big of the building it is. So if everybody's renting under value at whatever, $700 a month, but one unit's vacant, and they take it, they leave the 3 people in, but then when they do their renovation, now they're getting $1,100 a month. Then they're going to work with the other tenants. They're either going to leave or they're going to up their rent to the market rate. So these are things that we have to know. They're not fully explained in the buy box, but these are things that you can add in a PDF, or you're adding in terms of, these are the rental rates. This is what the market rental rate is. If they're close, maybe it is a good deal for them to keep it with the tenants. But those are things you're going to have to really think about, the psychology of the investor. It's not just about us and what we put in, because remember, they're the ones who are going to do all the deals. They're the ones we're submitting to. So we're really trying to serve what they're looking for and figure out exactly what it is that they want. And when I go through the buy boxes on the next one, I'll try to explain what their psychology is from the things that they put in each of the buy boxes. And I'll do screen shares and try to figure it out on the fly, what I think they're thinking and what you need to be thinking to close a deal. All right. Thanks again for, well, you're probably like forced to watch it since it's sitting there on Workplace, but I appreciate it anyway if you took the time. So next time I will be back with number 6, which is the buy boxes. Thanks, guys.